Hello, YouTubers. Frank at Frank's Fine Leather, back again for another session. See if we can finish some things up this afternoon on the front facing of this interior. So far we took these two pieces and we put them together and polished their edges, colored them in. We got this center section complete. Need to dust him in a little bit. He's got a little off color right there. Just take a t-shirt. Get that in there. Just buffed in there real good. Make it look nice. This is some beautiful leather, this Catalina. I love this Catalina leather. It's a very nice leather to use. It's a good veg tan leather. And I get it right there at Tandy. Right there in Indianapolis. Those people out there are wonderful. There's our card pockets, and that looks pretty good. So next what we need to do is take our dividers, wing dividers, go ahead and pop that in there. And on these, I'm going to go ahead and just take the stitching on these pockets all the way up, because I'm going to take them all the way up on this side. So I want them to look even. So let's make them look even. So on our wing divider, just go all the way across, like so. Stop right there for now. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. It tells us where we're going to lay our holes in there. So since we're not going to need these for a few, I'm going to put these back up. I'll go ahead and get me my piece of leather out. Remove paper, because that's still a good stencil. I'm going to be using that one of these days. Just don't know when. right now I'm focused in on showing you folks how to do wallets, spending some time with you, doing some wallets and some leather work, showing you some technique, which I hope you pick up on. And all the techniques that I'm using here, you can use them on the leather, but the techniques just don't stop at the leather wallet. You can use the same and similar techniques, if not most, on just about anything that you build, not just wallets. So let's go ahead and get this. Sorry for the loud noise. Go ahead and get these hammered in here. Then we can get back to a little more ASMR kind of peaceful leather makings. Keeps it pleasurable for everyone. Hope you've learned a lot of things. I've tried to do my best and show you about everything that I know. Well, not necessarily everything all the time, but everything when it comes time to do a certain function or aspect of leather. There's more to it than this, obviously, but I only teach you the things that you need to know for this particular project, leather wallet building, in this particular wallet building session, or sessions, as I should say. And then later on, when we do some different sessions of some different things, there may be different applications, and then I can show you those applications and how they may work, and how you do those. So basically, on doing these leather wallets here, for those of you who don't know, when your pockets come together, you never want to split your pocket with one of these tooths. In other words, you don't want to get it so close to the leather right here that it whacks off or cuts off half of this leather that's going down in there. Because like I said, over time, if you do that, that'll tear and that'll be no good. So you always want to split. You can see that. You definitely want to split your tooths like so. And then when you get to the top, you want to have one that hangs over on either side. But it's more important on this outside here and on this outside here. You don't want to undershoot it. So we or overshoot it, I should say. So we undershot it here a little bit. Put the hole here, the final hole. If we would have put another one, you can see here it would have been off the line, and that wouldn't have been good. So we backed it up, and then we'll turn around and we'll put this tooth hanging off the ring. Divider here. So let me put that in there, and we'll do something like this, because so what happens here is if I try to do another one, it'll be right in the middle between this line and the outside of the wallet, which is not good. You need it about 4 millimeters away from this edge. So what we do is adjust it forward, punch the hole in, punch as close down as we can here, and then come across right on this line. Now it's going to put these two holes close together, but that's okay. We'll have what you call a short run, and you will have short runs and long runs. So we'll just take a short run on that, and that'll look okay. And most people won't even notice it once we cross thread that into this section. We're going to come back up. And that's how you want to address that situation, if that makes sense. So, again, we'll start, and I usually start right in the complicated areas. That way, we can start addressing the issues right away, rather than try to push the issues down further this way or back up this way and then land right in the middle of this with the hole anyway. Because so let's go ahead and get that going there. Sometimes I like to study the situation before I continue, to make sure what I'm looking at is what I think I'm looking at. But you can always undo things or make things shorter, but you can't make them longer. You can't take things back. So in this case here, you can see we stopped here. If we go to the next row, you can see it puts it, there's the line. It puts it too high for the line, puts this one too low, too high to get it outside of this leather area. And really our teeth are all evenly spaced, so there's no way to make up for anything within that. So the best thing to do is to undershoot it, right? Go ahead and turn this, and go ahead and put this right on the line, hanging one tooth off, starting this right where it's supposed to start, which will also help us at the end of the run. So we'll go ahead and get that put in there. And then that'll be a short. This here, the spaces between each of these will be normal, and then this will be a short run here. But once you put that in there and you come across this way, and then you have another piece of leather, it's going to go next to this generally, or you're going to have a leather down below. It'll make more sense. But in our case, we're not going to have something butting up right next to it. Anyway, now, since we got our holes punched in here, we'll want to go ahead and get things stitched up. We've already colored these in. We've already used our wing divider to make our straight line so that we could go ahead and punch our holes in here. And so once that's done, then we'll be able to lay these in place. So let's get started on that. So again, for our stitching, I haven't picked out the stitching yet. I've been thinking about that. And being all burgundy, I do have a burgundy. However, it's pretty thick. We could use something a little different. We could do a gray. Gray may look okay. Burgundy with gray. But I'm not sure that would come out real great. We have a royal blue. The royal blue may look kind of good on that burgundy. Of course, if we want that to I think the blue will make it pop a little bit. have a yellow would really make it pop. But a yellow is gonna scream. I'd have to have my customer look at that and say, yeah, that's what I want, because I'm not sure a lot of people would like that. We've got some browns. Let's look at that burgundy. So, we could do white. White always looks good. Or cream. Cream always looks good. Burgundy will make a perfect match. It's a thicker thread, so it'll give us a little more aggressive look to the wallet, but it matches almost identically. I think that's what we're going to go with. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments section, what do you think? What would you like to see? What are your thoughts? Everybody's thoughts count. Okay. So it looks like we're going to go ahead and go with burgundy. It's a little thicker thread. So 1, so we measured it 1, right? Double it over, 2 times the length, 3, and 4. So that'll assure us to give us enough. And people always say, well, why do you have to take that much thread out? And the answer is because you're crisscrossing back and forth. Crisscross, and then turn and crisscross, so on and so forth. And then so you're coming back and forth through this thickness twice for every single hole. So eventually, not only just the length, to have a little bit more to work with, because you can't use exactly all of your stitching. It'd be so tight you couldn't, you got to have room to turn your stitches and come back in. Otherwise, you can't get your leather through the punched holes that we just punched. So you have to have extra. You always want extra to work with. So that's why you need about 4 times the amount. They tell you 3 to 4, but I sometimes, and that depends on the thickness of the leather, because obviously the thicker the leather, the more excess. And doing it 4 times, you can have a pretty good thick leather. So I just pretty much go with the universal. So, but going with the thicker leather, I have to go with a bigger set of needles. Isn't that kind of a cool little I don't know if you saw I have to go with a thicker set of needles. I don't know if you got to see my needle holder. I had a pretty neat kid that made this for me. He was getting started in the business, and I gave him a bunch of old stuff that I had. Some leather and stuff like that to get him started, some tools. And then he took that and made me this to remember him by, which was kind of cool. I liked it. I loved it. And so to this day, I keep this piece like right here on the front of my desk. And I always use it. So let's go ahead and get this set in here. And let's go ahead and get this stitched up. So I hope you guys like these step-by-step videos. They can be a little lengthy. That's why I've kind of busted them down to 20, 30-minute videos. That way, if you don't want to watch a specific section, you might say, oh, I've seen enough of that, you know, interior work or whatever. You don't have to watch that section. Or if you just like watching the whole thing, then you can just watch one right after the other, and it'll give you all the parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3. So again, to thread the needle, not to be repetitive, but for those who don't know, you cut your thread to length 4 times, and then you thread it through your needle. Once it's threaded, you pull enough, I guess you could say about 1.5 times the actual size. We'll start with that. And then you want to pierce the thread toward the end. Pull this back. Pull your thread in there. Tighten it. And that'll keep it nice and tight. And not create too big of a knot right there, where you can still get around. We'll do the other end the same way. Go ahead and take and make again, exact same thing as we did before. Now we're ready to stitch. my stitching pony up here.